What up? This is Rapids, and so JHE Rooga and Adam22 from No Jumper are beefing because JHE Rooga did not want that interview out that came out. He was saying that he wanted to approve of it before he released it. He told Adam apparently before the interview that there's certain things he didn't want to talk about. It sounds like Adam22 kind of snuck in those questions anyways, and JHE Rooga wasn't happy about it, and he wanted to, say, like, basically take the interview down. So, I mean, that's Adam22's interview, though. That's his property. So a lot of these rappers used to get mad at people that report on rappers. Like, they'll get mad at DJ Vlad, and they'll get mad at DJ Academics and stuff like that. And now it looks like Adam22 is getting heat. And some rappers are upset with him now because they're all saying, like, hey, you just want to be out here asking questions about their ops and stuff like that. But it's like, that's the job of these interviewers, is to ask spicy questions. They need to ask that stuff for the audience to get views. I mean, if Adam or anybody else did an interview with Rooga, what did he want them to just ask him? When's your next mixtape dropping? When's your next album coming out? Who's your top 5 artists? When did you start rapping? I mean, what questions do you expect? Like, you're in this rap game and people want to hear about the controversy. Controversy sells. People want to hear all the good questions about ops, no matter how many times you come on. They might want to hear, about Dirk and, stuff like that. Now, that doesn't mean Rooga has to answer the question. If he was media trained, he would know that just because a question comes up that you don't like, don't take it out on the interviewer. Just dodge the question and say next question, or you don't want to speak on that, or just all out refuse to speak on it. But don't get all upset and, don't start, tripping about it, because I don't think that's a good look. Because really, Rooga doing interviews, I think, is a good thing, because then when he drops a video, I saw he dropped a video like right after that interview, that brings more attention to your music. People might have been just checking out that interview, then they see, oh, you got a video out, a music video, so they might check that out. It helps elevate everyone involved doing those interviews, when really, if he didn't do that interview, some people might have just kind of skipped over that video he dropped, that music. When Rooga dropped his latest video, some people might have just skipped over it because they're not really interested right at that moment. But with that interview, it can bring more interest to the artist. So I don't know. I think that Rooga, I think he might have played himself on this one. He might have actually fumbled the bag, because you never know. I mean, other interviewers might not want to interview him now. After his behavior with that, they don't want to interview you, and then you're over here saying, "Oh, take the interview down," and you're tripping out about stuff like that, because they spent their time to do the interview, and it's their whole business is set up around something like that, and then you're sitting here saying take it down and stuff. So I mean, that might get him blackballed from doing future interviews with people if they see this is how he acts and behaves if he doesn't like a question. I think the appropriate way to handle questions from interviewers is to basically dodge the question. I think that's up to you. That's a responsibility of the artist, because the audience wants to hear the smoke. They want all the smoke when it comes to interviews. They don't want a boring interview. They want to hear all the smoke when it comes to questions about ops, and they want to hear all that. Now, if you got a different view, if Rooga could have said, well, I'm on this peace movement or something, he could have just said that, use that opportunity to push his peace, if that's what he's on right now. If he's on peace and doesn't want to talk about ops, and some artists know how to do this move where they say, who's that? They'll be like, so what do you feel about Little Dirk? And the artist might be like, who's that? If they're an op with him. if they're op, they might say like, you know, who's that, and dodge a question like that and just play dumb, I guess. You know, you there's all types of ways you can handle a question you don't like. I just feel like Rooga might, you know, he might have fumbled the bag. I mean, those interviews are a good look for the artists. I think it just helps, you know, they can really help, especially an up and coming artist, more, I would think, than an established artist. That's why you usually see more up and coming artists doing interviews. Really, it's because it really can boost them up to a level and get them on, you know, and bring more interest around their name. And so, yeah, I don't agree with JHE Rooga and how he handled that. I think he should have just, you know, been smarter about responding to questions he doesn't like. No matter what you talk about beforehand. I mean, if he doesn't honor that, that was kind of not cool. If they talked about something beforehand, like, let's not talk about this, and if you agree to that, just be a man of your word. And I think don't bring up the question that you guys agreed not to talk about. So, I kind of see where Ruger's coming from too. But at the same time, I think even if he does bring up the question that you didn't want him to bring, I mean, just dodge it and keep it moving. So, I mean, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This has been Rap Hits. Like and subscribe and all that. I'm out of here.